Hi, this is Christian Woods. I'm one of the band directors in Seneca. Miss Wetzel and I co-teach the sixth grade beginning band. I just wanted to kind of give you a quick rundown of what sixth grade band looks like and where you can find some more information. And I also want to start off by saying I'm sure you'll have questions. Please don't hesitate to ask me or Miss Wetzel. You can contact Miss Wetzel through Dojo. You can email both of us. We'll be at the school some next week for pickup, so maybe you can try to catch us there. But don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions you have. So sixth grade band, super fun time. Everybody has to take some music class in sixth grade, and I really encourage you, if you're at all interested in band or playing an instrument, to go ahead and take band in sixth grade and try it out. It is worth noting that sixth grade is the only time you can start band. You can't start band as a beginner in seventh grade or eighth grade or high school, because you'll be too far behind where everyone else is by that point. So sixth grade is your opportunity to start. If you're at all interested, I really encourage you to do so. We start 5 instruments in sixth grade: flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone, and percussion. And I do, let me expand on percussion just briefly. There's 2 percussion instruments we play in sixth grade mainly, and then we start to learn others. But we play snare drum, which most of you are probably familiar with. You hit it with 2 sticks. It's a very, very loud drum. But we also play mallet instruments. We have bell kits and small xylophones that we play that's set up like a keyboard. And you do play both. Sometimes people think they just want to be a drummer and they just want to hit a drum, but there's more to it than that. So I'm going to make sure you understand that going in, that percussion is a lot more than just hitting a drum. There's also the mallet instruments, and they are challenging at the beginning. And not that there's not technique to any of the other percussion instruments, because they can be a challenge as well, but I just want you to be aware of that. So those are our 5 main instruments we start in sixth grade. Now, after sixth grade, you have an opportunity to play some of the other instruments like tuba or French horn or saxophone. So there are other options past sixth grade, but we start on just those 5 basic instruments because we found those 5 are very good instruments for people to get a beginning sound on, and it helps if we have some continuity with what everyone's starting on. If we started on 10 different instruments, it'd be even harder for me and Miss Wetzel with our limited time to really help everyone. Whereas if we have just 5 basic instruments, they work really well. And then maybe we can consider switching some of you at a later date if you'd like. You don't have to. You can stay on the beginning instrument, and many people do, for the entire time you play a musical instrument. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention is, along with this message, I'm also giving a link to a super cool website. It's called Be a Part of the Band, and they have explanations of all the band instruments, not just the 5 that we start, but all of them that you could potentially play someday. It has super great knowledge on why you should join band, some of the benefits of joining band, or just making music in general, and it's really handy. I believe there's also a test on there where you can type in some of your information, some of the physical features that you have, like with your mouth and with your fingers, and then also take an aptitude test for music, and it'll kind of help point you in the right direction for what instrument you might be naturally inclined to play best. You don't have to take that test, and you don't have to go with the results from that test. If it thinks you're going to be a great trumpet player, but you really want to be a trombone player, we're not going to stop you from being a trombone player. Ultimately, you get to make that decision, because we believe that you're going to be successful on what you want to play. I will say we do have limited spots for each instrument. We can't have 30 percussionists and 2 flute players and 5 trumpets. We need to be fairly well balanced. So we ask that when you fill out the form on that website, or when you sign up for band, you give us your top 2 or 3 instruments you'd like to play, and we will help put you on where we have spots and where we think you'll succeed. And ultimately, during the first couple weeks of school, we'll be able to do some testing, and we'll get some of those instruments before you get your own, and we can help you kind of select what's going to work best for you. And if we start you on something and you really don't like it, don't feel like you're absolutely stuck on that. There's still some flexibility to move around, at least until we get instruments. Which brings me to my last point. Again, I'm trying to make this meeting brief, so if you have questions, if there's things I haven't hit, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm sure there's something important here I'm forgetting. But my last thing I want to say is part of being in band is you do play an instrument, and most people, well, everyone's responsible for getting their own instrument. Now, I encourage you to wait until school starts to do that for a couple reasons. One, we work closely with music companies, local ones, Palin Music and Ernie Williamson are the two we do the most with because they have really good rent-to-own programs for band instruments. And I'm not going to give you any of the details for that right now, but you can reach out to them or you can email me and I can share information with you about that. But they have really good rent-to-own programs where you can pay off the instrument through a few years in smaller payments until you own it, and then towards the end of that you can even upgrade to a different instrument or to just a higher quality instrument that's the same. But those are really good options. There's also a vibrant used market for instruments. And we can help you kind of navigate that. I will say, please don't go out and buy an instrument without consulting with either me or Miss Wetzel. There's a lot of instruments out there, and most of them are good quality, but some of them aren't. And we really want to help you pick the instrument that your student is going to be most likely successful on, if that makes sense. A lower quality instrument is often harder to get a good sound on and might not hold up to the rigors of a beginning band student. So we really encourage you, don't go out and get that instrument just yet. I'd recommend waiting until school starts, and if that's not an option, then at least consult with me or Miss Wetzel so we can make sure that what you're getting is high quality. And there is some cost involved with that. Percussionists need to buy and upgrade their sticks and their mallets and hardware. Clarinets need reeds. Trumpets and trombones need oil and slide grease to keep all the parts moving on those instruments. So there are some added expenses with instruments. They're not a lot, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. And we can go into that in much more detail as we get closer to the school year and we find out what you're going to be playing or your student is going to be playing. Gosh, I think that pretty much covers it. I'm really excited for next year. I'm really disappointed with the way this year's ended, that we weren't able to really talk with everyone that's coming into 6th grade. We weren't able to test you all on instruments like we usually do to help you kind of decide before school's out if band's something you want to do, and if so, what instrument you want to play. But we are still really excited for next year. I'm hoping you are interested in band and want to do it. Band is a lot of fun. I've been doing it since I was in 6th grade, and it was my favorite part of school. Through most if not all of middle school and all of high school, I love band. I'm a big nerd, and Miss Wetzel is too. But we're proud of what we do, and we're really hoping you guys choose to do some band and make some music with us. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. But thank you so much, and take care.